Survivor Series, where teams of 5 strive to essentially piss off the other brand. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling blogger who always tells it like it is. The 32nd annual Survivor Series is a long way removed from when it started for 2 years straight in Richfield, Ohio. Back then, it was almost all traditional Survivor Series matches, with the rare title match thrown in. For a long time, though, you'd be lucky to see more than one such elimination match. Hell, they were going to drop the pay-per-view in 2010 before deciding against it. These days, thanks to the brand resplit, it's become part Survivor Series, part bragging rights, part Clash of Champions, as Raw and SmackDown try to prove who's the dominant show on USA before one hits the Fox/Disney next year. But this year, it seems to be about slapping together a pay-per-view with only a few weeks' notice, and then changing it around at the last possible moment for one reason or another. As Link said in Matrix Reloaded, this has got to be the ugliest hack job they've ever done. Or as I call it, the perfect end to a perfect crappy couple of weeks for the WWE. Well, no use putting it off. Here are my official, unofficial, official predictions for Survivor Series 2018. Start as always with the kickoff match. The Tag Team Survivor Series match. Sorry. Glad to see Gallows and Anderson are allowed back in front of the cameras. Not so much for the Colognes/Shining Stars/Matadores, whatever they're calling themselves. I spoke about how bad the tag divisions on both shows are, and things haven't changed much at all. They need to get a B show for SmackDown like Main Event is for Raw, but as SmackDown at least had captains and a second team before Raw ever did, I'll pick SmackDown with the New Day and the Usos as sole survivors. Cruiserweight Championship match. Buddy Murphy defends against Mustafa Ali. Well, at least 205 Live has finally fought its way out of the kickoff show. For now, anyway. I knew Buddy was going to be champ at some point, and even though Ali deserves a little more love on the brand, Buddy is as tough as nails and just as likely to put you in the ER. Ali will get his turn with the ugly yellow belt, ugly purple belt, just not tonight. Buddy Murphy retains. Women's match. Raw champ Rowdy Ronda Rousey versus SmackDown also-ran Charlotte Flair. A friend of mine who is also a WWE fan once said that the whole thing with Becky Lynch being injured was a work, since people really wanted to see Rousey versus Charlotte. Now, if that were true, why was Becky's name the one being chanted when Ronda's been on the mic lately? Everyone really wanted to see who the baddest woman in the WWE was. Instead, they get this. Now, take nothing away from Charlotte. She can be as dirty as her father was in her prime, but Ronda has much more to prove to us than Charlotte these days. It'll be an excellent match, though Ronda-Becky would have been better. But in the end, Rousey will make Charlotte tap. Oh, and yeah, I really think Becky has a legit injury. No way you can fake a punch like that. Secondary titleist match. IC champ Seth Rollins versus US champ Shinsuke Nakamura. Talk about something to prove. Seth needs to prove that his success has nothing to do with the Shield and everything to do with his own natural skill. And Nakamura? He needs to prove he's not just SmackDown's Brock Lesnar who can only fight on major pay-per-views. But there's one elephant in the room, or rather one lunatic in the arena. Nakamura doesn't really have an enemy on SmackDown right now, but Seth has a huge one by the name of Dean Ambrose. Look to see Dean and Seth throw down. Right after Dean distracts everyone and Nakamura goes low to beat Seth. Excuse me again. Women's Survivor Series match. Again, thanks to Becky being hurt and Charlotte replacing her, we're one woman short on the SmackDown side. Chances are it'll just be a surprise, like maybe Trish Stratus or Lita one last time. In any case, even with the behemoths Nia Jax and Tamina on Raw's side, along with veteran Mickie James, there is no way Natalya and Ruby Riott are getting along. And since SmackDown really doesn't have any issues between the ladies at this time, they will be more cohesive. SmackDown wins with the mystery participant as the sole survivor. Tag team titleist match. SmackDown champs The Bar with the Big Show versus the new Raw champs, the AOP, with Drake Maverick. You know, part of me still thinks it's a conflict of interest for Drake to be both GM of 205 Live and manager of the baddest team on Raw. You know, maybe get Gregory Helms or someone like that to take over for Drake on 205 Live. Anyway, this match is probably going to be the sleeper match of the event. Two badass teams ready to beat the unholy hell out of each other. No flips, just fists, as the Revival might say. As strong as Cesaro may be, I doubt he can swing Akam or Rezar, and Sheamus hasn't had a good beatdown in a long time, so he'll be reminded of how it feels after his match. AOP is on a roll, and there's no reason for it to end. AOP for the win. Primary titles match. Universal so-called champ Brock Lesnar versus WWE champ Daniel Bryan. WWE, just admit it. You didn't want a replay of last year's series, right? And Daniel Bryan not wanting to be in Crown Jewel threw a Washington State-sized monkey wrench in your plans. Bryan was supposed to win the belt in Saudi Arabia and turn heel then, right? Now look, nothing against Danny Boy. If anyone has a chance to shock the world and beat the Beast, it's him. But at the same time, even though Bryan has taken down giants before, it's nothing compared to the creature that is Brock Lesnar. Brock will snap him like a twig, or rather he would, if Braun Strowman wasn't still after him. I think Brock will win, but it'll be by DQ when Strowman interferes. Or, you know, maybe Brock will snap Daniel in half and then Strowman will march in. Finally, the men's Survivor Series match. At least this one is slightly more stable. Ziggler and McIntyre are, of course, solid, and Lashley might play along. Balor, if the heels stay off his ass, will play along. And Strowman better play along if he wants Corbin at a later date. The Miz and Samoa Joe are strained but relatively stable together, and Mysterio and Hardy will get along beautifully, and Shane will have a really hard time keeping them all focused. Now, we all remember last year's fiasco, right? When Triple H pedigreed Angle and still won the match for Raw. Well, Corbin will more than likely pull one over on Strowman again because he doesn't want to face the monster. But of course that will lead to Raw falling apart at the seams while SmackDown somehow keeps it together. 3 Survivor Series matches, 3 wins for SmackDown. And I'm saying Shane will pin Strowman and he and Samoa Joe will be the sole survivors, giving the much-needed victory to SmackDown for the night. Those are my picks, and it's quite the coincidence that this is on the 90th birthday of a certain iconic cartoon character, because this is the biggest Mickey Mouse operation that WWE has pulled off in a long time. Please get better before Royal Rumble, okay? I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling blogger who always tells it like it is. See ya.